Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. It is a warm one today. Weather report for today is, I'm not sure, hot and windy. 93 degrees when I left the house this morning. It was a little bit later start to this trip than the last one. I was actually contemplating coming out and making some breakfast today, but not today. I got a wild idea. Not a wild idea, but I got a spur, to try something different, something I've never made. And we'll see how it turns out. But 93 and windy at my house. And I was going to, again, head out to the desert, but there's no way. On days like this, it would be miserable out there with the really dry, the dirt blowing and the wind and the ants and stuff. So I came up into the mountains again, and it doesn't feel much cooler up here today. You never know. I guess sometimes it doesn't do it, but the wind is it's like warm, like Santa Ana almost. It feels very dry. I'm drinking a lot of water already. So I'm gonna go try to drop down into like a ravine almost, to see if I can find some more natural shade, as well as using my awning. You look out here. Pretty cool, right? So I'm just driving along the ridge lines right now, and I'm gonna try and drop down into like a kind of a ravine area. Usually when I drive by there, I see like shade a lot, but we'll see. I don't know. Up on these ridge lines, you can really get some pretty good views. Let's see, where am I at? Yeah, if you look way off in the distance, Sedona is actually over that mountain right there on the other side. Alright, we're getting ready to drop down into this ravine. We'll see if there's some area I can pick out that has some shade. Kind of hard to tell, but right now we're pointing down, and we're gonna go extremely down rather quickly. So let's go. Hear the wind, but it is blowing through here. Now I'm gonna need a little wind today, but this is pretty steep here. I got it in first gear, and I haven't touched the brakes the whole way down. Yeah, I'm driving all around back in here. I'm not seeing any substantial shade, probably because I came out so late that the sun is directly above. So even down in these ravines with a pretty good amount of tree cover, hold on, it's not casting the shade that I was anticipating. Got a manzanita. There's a whole lot of manzanita back in this area. Manzanita, I think that they attract, or there's like the ticks, like deer ticks or mule, whatever they're called. I remember we were out here years ago, and we were messing around in a whole big patch of manzanita. And I found out about like the ticks later on. Luckily, I never got anything from there. But like, if you see them, probably don't camp by them or something like that. They're really cool though. That's what they're so interesting. They're like really dark red, like twisted roots and stuff. Pretty cool. So now I'm in kind of a desert-ish area of this. Is that a word, desert-ish? You can see here's more manzanita. You can see that it's turned from the pine trees to desert shrub, and the ground has even changed. So I'm kind of working my way around one of the mountains that I dropped in on. I'm gonna go back through here, and there's a nice big climb from a little rocky riverbed back up into kind of the pine forest. That's the way I'm headed right now. It's really hard to get it on camera, but it's very, very steep. It's a route I won't take in the wintertime, because it's always in the shade usually with snow and ice and stuff. It's if you start sliding, you're done. Your car's done. You're gonna slide all the way back down off the edge into a granite rock wall. But we're heading for it right now. I'll show you what this looks like. It's different. It's a little bit of trees here, but that area back there where I was just talking, definitely no trees on the exposed southern side of this mountain. Very high desert bush shrubs. Pretty wild. little steeper than I remember. I think I think the camera was looking at the mirror part of that time. Yeah, it's pretty steep, but when it's dry, it's good. Okay, back into the pine area. Well, by the title, this is going to be no surprise what I'm actually making today. But Spam grilled cheese. I don't know, I thought I'd try. Again, talking about when I'm live streaming, we got a lot of food talk going on. And someone brought up Spam, which is interesting because we always have like, whatever. I think you can get like a 6-pack of them or something. And they keep a long time, like traditional canned foods. So it's good to have it, you know. And then once in a while, we don't have it that often, but at home, we'll use it like a breakfast sausage. Cut it really thin, crisp it up, and use it like breakfast sausage. So I thought, I'm just going to try something different today. And it's actually good. It should be fairly quick to make, pretty easy to make, which on a day like this, I don't want to spend too much time out here today. I actually burned about an hour. I went back in miles this way, and there's mountains all in here. And I went around and got up on the ridge line and drove east where you could almost see Sedona. Then I dropped down, and I thought there's going to be a bunch of shade. There wasn't. Being that it's now noon, the sun's straight up. So anyway, if you look at the car there, you can see there's a little bit of shade around, but I've created my own shade, which is pretty nice. I wanted to bring the Lexus out today just because I haven't used it off-road and, cooking and stuff in a long time. But I'm trying to figure out, what I want to do as far as awnings go on that. All I really wanted was like a really small, like 1 meter or, like 3 feet awning that I could put on the back that comes straight back. And I'm surprised. I'm sure someone makes one, for like all these cars, the 4Runners and everything else that have these, the backs that open up, like just a straight awning off the back. That would be more for weather than shade. Because the last time I took it out, we were up by Flagstaff and it was sleeting, and it just filled the whole back of the truck up with like wet snow. Like within a minute, it was nasty. The bugs are out pretty good today. But the good thing is I'm not going to complain about the wind. The wind's blowing hard, but because it's pretty dang hot, it's not refreshing. It just, if it was stagnant, it would be more miserable. So today the wind is welcome. You're a welcome breeze. And right now it's blowing from up here this way. So like hitting the back of the cooker. I'm going to get set up. It's what I'm going to do. I think I'll just tell you ahead of time. I think I'm going to cook the Spam, set it aside, right? And then put together the grilled cheese and then do that. I think that's the best. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure I've ever made a grilled cheese sandwich myself. I've had plenty made for me. I don't think I've made one myself, though. Anyway, this should be interesting. Okay, so what I brought was a can of Spam. I brought a half a thing of sourdough, the rustic oven sourdough. I've got some butter that's melted or softened, and I brought 2 kinds of cheeses, a white cheese and a yellow cheese. So this is Sargento Sharp, and this is it's white American cheese. They didn't have what I wanted. I think we were trying to get either Monterey Jack or Pepper Jack, or I even said provolone, but that probably wouldn't have gone too good with this. But who knows? Who knows what's actually going to go good with this or not. I'm going to get the Spam cut up here. Cut this into, well, I like to try and get them thin. And I think for something like this, thin is always better. you know, less than a 1/4 inch, like 1/8 inch, but it's kind of hard to do that, but we'll see. I brought extra plates. I don't know if there's a secret. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say, I don't know if there's a secret to getting Spam out of the can, but that was way easier than I remember. There you go. Bon appetito. I don't know if I need my bigger knife or not. Try and use my small one here. Slow cooking the Spam. Actually pretty easy to cook, depending on, especially if you cut it thin like that, and how crisp you want the edges. It's funny because it does go around the edges. It kind of concaves or convexes, depending on which side you look at, until you flip it over. I was thinking, I want to see how much like residual kind of grease stuff remains in there. And if it's just a little bit, then I'll leave it, and it'll kind of infuse some of that flavor into the outside of the bread. I mean, this is definitely a heart-healthy experiment here. It's got all the 4 food groups. It's got Spam, cheese, bread, and butter. Is it normally I can't remember the last time I had any Spam. Oh, actually, I can. It's been a long time since we've had it at home, but there is one of those Hawaiian lunch trucks that cruises around town. And I've got Spam musubi. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like the Japanese answer to like the hot dog, right? When you're golfing, you have a hot dog at the turn. Well, when I was in Hawaii out there doing some work, I was golfing with the guys from Unical, and at the turn, I'm like thinking, I have a hot dog. They're like, no, you have Spam musubi. So it's Spam in the center, rice wrapped with seaweed. And it's actually really good. It's super good. You guys don't know the Hawaiians are famous for their eating Spam. So if you're ever in Hawaii, go to a grocery store, there'll be a whole aisle of Spam because there's all these different flavors. I just use the classic, the original, but there's all these different flavors, and there's like a whole aisle of Spam. It's actually pretty funny. Take a look at this stuff. If I remember, there's something a little strange about Spam, is that it doesn't leave as much grease as you would think. As you would think it would. Like a sausage or bacon. Kind of weird that way. So as I put 5 of them in there, 5 of them fit, and then as those shrunk up, I threw 2 more in. It was kind of do the that method. This is with this setup here at the awning and the table, it's an L-shaped return kitchen with my tailgate and this table. Putting my chair there, it's very comfortable. It's very comfortable. Although I have a slight smell of unleaded fuel vapor. So one thing that one of the only things that this particular almost 30-year-old Land Cruiser suffers from is the charcoal canister. I've replaced it, actually. If you don't know, the charcoal canister It's supposed to get rid of like the vapors and the fumes from the tank. You know, it's hot. You're returning fuel to the tank, fuel injection, right? And that vapor, so it doesn't build up pressure. So when you undo your gas cap, you don't get a big poof of vapor. So it's supposed to go through a charcoal canister, which it does. And the one that was on here, it was not working anymore. It was old. It was original. So there's like a little bit of a mod you can do for a GM version. I forget what it comes from, but it's basically the exact same size canister, except one of the outlets from the bottom is on the top. So you just move a hose. But it's not working for me. It doesn't do it in the winter, but in the summer when it's like 100 degrees out and you're doing these off-roading for a while, when you park up, you'll smell gas. So, you know, firing up my my grill back here is a little scary, but I don't know. Maybe one day I'll figure out. The two cars that suffer from this is the 60 series, which is an 86, and this one a 97. Everything after this is they got it figured out. So I'm sure there's something I can do. I'm sure there's a fix for this. I actually really need to look into that, because now that I've been getting some pretty solid whiffs of it, I think I need to do something about that. All right, let's see what we're going to do here with this bread. A couple ideas. I don't know if I'm going to take the two big pieces. Maybe I'll do it like this. I'll make this one and then we'll cut it into two halves, and we'll start with that. I should be able to start and stop. All right. Again, I have not like a maker of this stuff, so everything's new to me. I was told a little butter on both sides, which is going to help crisp up the bread, I guess. Not too much. Almost feels like you should butter the outside after you're done, because if I flip this over now, that one's really well done. I don't know about buttering the inside. Maybe I won't butter the inside. Okay, let's figure this out. Got cheese here. I'm gonna lay down 2 pieces of yellow like this. And I'm going to bring in 2 pieces like that. And we'll grab some of the white cheese, which I thought American cheese was yellow, like those sandwich things that are like individually wrapped, but I don't know, this is called American cheese. You got me. Put one there. Put one there. Okay, this is the buttered side, so we're gonna go like that. I'm gonna cut it down the middle, kick on the cooker, I'm gonna throw one in there, and then I will, this other side is buttered, but I'm just gonna put a little bit more on the edges. We'll see how this works. I got to make at least another one so I can bring it home, because I always like it's like you make them try it. You're like, here, try this. Actually, if it's bad, I don't do that. But if it's something like, hey, this is decent, it tastes pretty decent, I'll try and bring some home so she can try it, make fun of me. All right, well, I'm gonna probably slow it down, trying to control this a little bit more. A couple of these got away from me, like this guy, but you know what? It may look burnt. It's like crispy bacon. It's so good. In relation to like something that's really bacony. I got the first sandwich done. Because the bread on the second one was just a little bit smaller, I was able to get both halves in there at the same time. So here's the first one I made. Wind's blowing. First bite. Just don't blow any dirt in my food. That was a mouthful. Holy cow. Ooh. Everything kicked in at the same time. The wind, everything. My first impression of the bite, it's almost like what are those sandwiches, like a Parma? You know, like where you got ham and cheese and you kind of do this. And wow, it's really blowing. It's blowing the dust. The first bite into it, you can taste, bread, cheese, some kind of meat. Really, really good. I just thought, I gotta flip these. Hold on. Hot potato. And I'm back. Yeah. It's you know what? If you didn't tell me it was Spam, I wouldn't know. Such a mouthful each time. Yeah, in this setup, it tastes like a ham almost, like get the saltiness of that. The creaminess of the cheese. The sourdough worked pretty good. I imagine there's some other styles of bread, but I like sourdough as a bread in general. Whenever I do something like this, like French toast or something where you're going to be maybe putting something on the bread and cooking with it, brioche, we did use that last time, worked super good. But sourdough, it seems like it's kind of hearty enough, like tough enough to stand up to that without going super soggy mode. I'm going to turn that off because I think it's done. Now, normally, growing up as a children, I think we would have a special dinner was grilled cheese with tomato soup. So take your grilled cheese, and as a kid, I would dip it in the tomato soup, which I don't know if anyone else does that or if that's just if I'm the weirdo. But from what I can remember, it was good. I mean, I like tomato soup. I like this. I really like things like chili, for example. You gotta open your mind. Things where you take stuff like this, or chili. What I do with chili is I'll have the chili, I'll put cheese on top. This stuff I'm at home, And I got these really nice tortilla chips. And I'll use the tortilla chips as like my spoon. So every bite, I get chili, cheese, and tortilla chip. And I can eat it almost the whole bowl until I need to get like a regular spoon out to finish it off. But same thing with this. You know, dipping this into like a tomato soup is pretty good. Tomato. What else? Clam chowder. Putting those oyster crackers on that, you know? It's the, I don't know, it's kind of like the bread and the liquid, I guess. This is actually really, really good. Really good. The thing that, when we do rarely have Spam at home, what she'll make for me is she'll cut them the same, you know, thin. I think she's got actually, I'm sure she's got it because she tried to get me to bring it. She got, what do they call, mandolin? You know, like a cheese cutter. That she says she just puts the thing down and it's done. Honestly, though, with a good sharp knife, it took 20 seconds. And you can try to get it the thickness that you want. If it turns like this, you'll start getting, you know, thick, thin, thick, thin. So it's not bad. But she'll just butter some bread. She'll brown off the Spam and put it on there. And it's like that. And it's really good, but it's, you know, like, oh my God. No cheese, no nothing. And a lot of times, if I remember too, grilled cheese, I might have had like a little dollop of ketchup, like French fries, and dip it in there. Does that sound weird too? Oh. Maybe grilled cheese and tomatoes go together, right? Because of tomato soup, ketchup. I love mustard, but I also love ketchup, and I like them in very specific times. On a hot dog, I actually like mustard and ketchup, and maybe even some relish, like a baseball game dog, you know, Dodger dog or whatever. If I have, she makes us beef like, you know, hamburger patties, but sometimes we don't use bread at all, so we just make the patty. It's not a bad practice. One, it saves you money. Two, it's better that you're not eating the bread. And the other thing is when you do get either bread or a bun, it's actually a nice treat, a nice change up. So if I have just the patty, I like ketchup because I'll cut it up and just dip it in the ketchup and eat it. If I have bread, I like using mustard, right? With the bread and the same patty. I know, it's weird. Works for me, though. Works for me. This might be one of the best grilled cheese that I can remember that I've had. This one's even harder. It's heavier feeling. I would say, you know, the last video with the zucchini pasta. Normally you guys probably see me, it looks like I'm just shoveling in, you know. This is so kind of thick and hearty. It takes a while to chew it up. It's really good. Last one at the pasta thing, I said, I think I put in the thumbnail, you got to try it. And I mean that. You got to try this. It's just like me with, you know, I'm pretty stuck in my ways because I'm happy, right? I got a off the wall example for you. Video games. So I play this genre, this style of games. And someone says, hey, are you going to play this? And I'm like, oh, what is that? And I look at them like, it looks cool, but it's not my genre. I don't usually play that type of game. And what I found is a high percentage of the time, I'm actually super happy that I tried it, and now I've expanded kind of my outlook on trying new things. Same thing goes with food. Um, there's some people that don't like fish, Jill. There's some people that don't like fish in general, and I could say that myself. I'm like, whatever, fish. But then when I have some good fish, I'm like, oh, wow, that is really good. So the tilapia thing was one thing where people were going to try that. And the pasta thing, definitely want you to try that. It's just trying to maybe get you to try some different things. Try this. I'm sure most people make grilled cheese sandwiches. I'm sure of it. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say cheap because nothing's cheap today, but it's what you have around the house, right? A little bit of bread, a little bit of cheese. You should always have a couple cans of Spam around. You can do a lot. I know it sounds weird, but it's true. I don't need to be a Spam snob, If you cut it thin and cook it really well, it just tastes like really kind of salty bacon. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to get this other one off there. I'm going to get it put away for her. I think I'll put it on a plate and then a Ziploc over it. That'll probably be the best. I honestly don't know if I'm going to finish this. Look, I've got through one piece and a couple of bites. This was the two biggest pieces of bread, though. The next one was, not much smaller. I'm going to get this stuff set up. I got everything put away. The wind is it's really coming up now. And I think the bugs found me. Those big horse flies, they're just running into me. But I can tell you one thing. I need a nap. That is a heavy, heavy meal. I had 1/2 and a quarter of the second half. And that's all I could do. I couldn't do anymore. And you know me, I can eat. But it was big. That was the center part of a sourdough bread. So it was a big piece. The two cheeses, the bread, it's just like, the butter. It tasted super good though. Again, one of those things that you would not eat once a day. You wouldn't eat it once a week, maybe not even once a month, but once every couple of months is kind of like throwing a change up, right? That's where I think these things can be cool. And I think I've tried to classify some of these meals as how often I would eat them if it was me. Sometimes it's based off difficulty level. Sometimes it's based off of seasonal stuff. But when it comes to something that's really heavy like that, then I just say it's really good, like super comfort food. If you were at home, you'd just go straight to taking a nap for sure. But it's good comfort food. And, you saw what went into it, so you know what it's going to taste like. You should try it. Try it the way I did. Spam. I used American white cheese and Sargento sharp cheddar. That's what the cheeses were. Regular butter, sourdough, and I didn't butter the inside of the bread, only the outsides. And for me, that's fine. I think if you would butter, I don't even know if you're supposed to. Oh, that thing's really hot. I don't know if you're supposed to, but there's no way. Any more butter or anything like that would have been too much. It was right there. But for this one, it's going to be shorter, probably, I would imagine. One, it's super hot. It's over 100 now. And the wind is kicking, the bugs are kicking. I'm full, and I want to take a nap, and I don't want to do it here. But so I'm all packed up. Not surprisingly, man, cleanup was so good. I cleaned, a 409 last time. Maybe wondering, what's 409? It's a multi-surface grease and grime cleaner. If you don't have this under your sink in your kitchen, then you don't know your own business. So I did a really good job last time. So this time, it was a couple of wipes and I was good to go. Surprisingly, though, Spam does not spew grease everywhere. You would think it would. I make a hamburger, man, it is 10 times worse than what I had today. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Must be whatever, whatever grease makeup. Anyway, I got to get out of here because my stomach is like, oh. Probably too much. I should have just stuck with 1/2 and been done. I think I would have been good to go. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go home and I am going to take a nap because it's, I don't even know what time it is. Does this say on here? No. 3 o'clock? I don't know. Anyway, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section about Spam grilled cheese. It just came to me last night and we're like, I said, let's. One other quick detail. I was asking her for some ideas because, I'm trying to change it up a little bit, not just steak all the time. And she was talking about breakfasts. She's talking about making pancakes and all that. Me doing all this. I'm like, maybe you should come out and see how. And then I remembered someone saying something about Spam, and I typed Spam into Google, and Spam grilled cheese. I'm like, oh, there you go. Let's do that. So it's kind of cool that we were both, involved in talking about what some ideas were to do this. But this is a perfect quick meal to a day like today. A day like today, you don't want to be out here all day. It's 100 degrees and the wind's blowing and the horse flies are out biting, Oh, wow, that sucker's big. He landed on the tripod. Holy cannoli. All right, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm out of here.